Hey everyone, in today's video I'd like to talk about the most important guitar chords that you're going to need as a beginner. So in that sense, this video will not cover things like bar chords, F sharp minors and B flat diminishes and things like that. We're just simply going to be talking about the most important chords that you can have as a beginner. So you can generally break those chords up into majors and minors. We're going to cover the major section first. So one of the most important chords that you can have as a beginner is to have your A major chord. So an A major chord is going to look like this. So you can notice here I've got 3 fingers and they're all kind of crammed in here into fret 2. This finger here is on string 4, string 3, and string 2. Now there's a variety of ways that you can make A major. You can do it like this. And if we talk about finger numbers, we would say that this is finger number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you have come from the world of piano, you would have heard that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so it's a little different. So if you come from the world of piano, just really don't get those ideas mixed up. But for guitarists, we say that this is finger 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to take my first finger for A major, I place it here, fret 2, string 4. And so you can see that string 4 is 6, 5, 4, it's just 2 down from the top. I'm going to take my second finger and place it underneath that, and my third finger, and I place it underneath that. And that's an A major. Now another way that you can make an A major is you can do this with these 2 fingers. So I notice I just flip them around, just these 2 fingers right here. So almost kind of like a pyramid. So I've got my middle at the top, my first finger underneath that, and my third or my ring finger underneath that as well. And that sometimes really helps if you have really large fingers. The way that I happen to do it is I do it like this. I just take my middle finger and I use it to bar all 3 fingers. So all 3 strings. So I'm using my middle finger to bar 3 strings at one time. This is an A major. When you play your A major, ideally you do not want to hit the 6th string, so you just want to hit strings 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Like that. And you want to make sure that you can hear everything clearly. So if I play that chord and I hear this, then I got to adjust something. I need to fix something on my hand. That means I need to up, down, left, right, move it around, see if you can, work it out so that you can hear that note clearly, because that's not what you want. As a beginner, you're not going to be able to get all the strings correctly, so you want to aim for percentages. If you're have a chord that's supposed to hear 6 strings and you're hearing, let's say, 3 of them, you're failing, right? That's 50%. So let's get a little bit better than that. So you at least want to get 4 out of 6. 5 out of 6 is even better, and obviously 6 out of 6 is the best. But you can't really aim for 6 out of 6 right away. It's really hard if you're just coming right out of the box. So A major is a really good chord that you need to have. We're going to skip over B. C major is another really good one to have. So C major is going to be, kind of turn this a little bit, 3rd finger here, 3rd fret, 5th string. 2nd finger is going to be here, 4th string, 2nd fret. So 3rd fret or 5th string, 3rd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, and 2nd string, 1st fret. So this is a C major. Once again, on this one, I sort of want to, try to avoid playing the 6th string. How do I do that? Oh, I'm sorry. I just simply don't play it. So I just try not to hit it. I'm just careful with my right hand. It's kind of a pretty chord. So once again, I want to hear everything clearly. So if I'm hearing this, I could go back and work on that. So A major is a really important chord. C major is a really important chord. D major is another really important chord as a beginner. And D major is going to look like this. Here's my first finger. I skip over a string for my middle finger, and I've got my 3rd finger over here. You can notice my thumb is up here at the top, so it's not really pushed back or wrapped around. But a lot of these chords are sort of block chords, and so my hand is just kind of in a big, kind of almost a baseball bat sort of position. Just kind of grabbing it almost like this, with the guitar neck there. Okay, so here's a D major. My first finger is on string 3, fret 2. Middle finger is on string 1, fret 2. 3rd finger is on string 2, fret 3. Okay, so let's hold that up so you can see it a little bit better. So this is a D major. Okay, so A major, C major, D major. Notice we skipped over B major, right? Not really important for beginners, so don't worry about it yet. Let's look at E major. E major is another really important one that you're going to need. So E major is going to be here. Middle finger goes up at the top, fifth string, second fret, third finger, fourth string, second fret, first finger, right here, third string, first fret. If you noticed a second ago, I made the mistake and put this finger here. That's a big no-no. Generally, if you find that you have two fingers on the same string, you got something going wrong. Just kind of cool little advice there. If you have two fingers on the same string, you better check your hand and go, I must have something wrong. I need to fix that. Later on, you can do that, but as a beginner, you shouldn't have that. So this is an E major. In E major, you will hear all the notes being played, all 6 strings. And again, make sure they're all nice and clear. Oops, let's try that again. I just did it again. So that is an E major. So far we have A, C, D, and E major. F is kind of a tough one, so let's see, we'll look at that. F I do this way, which is, but that's really difficult. So an easier way is to maybe do this, which is still pretty difficult. So one of the things I would say is for an F major is you can use a substitute, which is F major 7, which is a little easier. It's not quite it's not quite as good of a sound if you're looking for an F major, but it's a lot easier to play. So I take my third finger, place it here on string 4, fret 2, string 4. I'm sorry, fret 3, string 4, fret 2, string 3, and fret 1, string 2. That's confusing to think about. That's an F major 7. With that one, you really don't want to hear the 6th string either. And that's an F major 7, which is a great substitute for F major. F majors are a little tough because you have to use kind of a mini bar there. You have to take one finger and bar 2 strings. It takes a lot of hand strength, so I wouldn't recommend it as a beginner. And finally, another chord that's really popular, and you really are going to need this a lot, is a G major. And G major is going to look like this. And so the G major here I'm using as a 4 finger. Some people do it like this, which is a 3 finger G. I actually learned it like this, which is also a 3 finger G, but I'm not using this guy over here. He's just sort of hanging out. But I tend to lean towards the 4 finger G for a variety of reasons, which we won't cover right now. I think this is probably more important to learn as a beginner. So what I'm doing here is we're using your middle finger to cover string 6, fret 3. First finger goes on string 5, fret 2, and then these 2 fingers are going to go at the bottom of fret 3 on strings 1 and 2. So altogether, this is a G major. And with this, again, you want to hit all 6 strings. So those are the basic major chords you can use as a beginner. The basic minor chords that you're going to need, let's go ahead and start back from A. So we're going to have A minor. So this was an A major, and you probably won't do this first because this is kind of hard. So you would do like maybe this at first, or this, one of those other shapes that we talked about. But here's an A minor. And that shape's, I don't think, too bad. So let's look at that a little bit more in detail. This is where it starts to get a little confusing. This, by the way, is an E major. This is an A minor. E major, A minor, major minor, E, A, major minor, E major, A minor. Alright, so it's a little confusing, but it's the same idea, right? You're just moving the chord up or down. So this is an A minor. So remember what it took to make an E major, and just go down a string. Okay, so let's kind of twist that around so you can see it a little bit. This is an A minor. This is on string 2, and then these are on strings 3 and 4. B minor, you don't really need it as a beginner. Let's skip over it. C minor, you won't be using that, no way. D minor, yes, you could be using that as a beginner, and so that one's going to look like this. This is a little tricky. First finger is going to go down here in fret 1, in string 1. Middle finger goes on string 3, fret 2. Third finger goes in fret 3, string 2. D minor. With D minor, you really don't want to hit your 6th string. Hit from 5 and down, or maybe even 4 and down. D minor. Let's look at another one. This is E minor. So this is a really popular one, and you definitely will use this one a lot, and that's going to look like this. Now, I do my E minor like this. Yeah, man. So that's my E minor. Most people do it this way. When I say most people, I say most beginners. But I think most professionals tend to do it more like this because there's a lot more options as far as how you move your hand around from one chord to the next. So when you get good at your chords, the next thing is to start thinking about what's the most efficient way to get from point A to point B, right? I don't want to have to drive in circles to get to some place. I just want to go there, you know, as the crow flies is what they would say. So as the crow flies would be an E minor this way. This is a little easier to get to a lot of other chords than to do this shape. This is still an E minor because I'm still holding these two notes, but I think this way is a little more efficient. And so I'm using my middle finger here on string 5, fret 2. I'm using my third finger here on string 4, fret 2. That's an E minor. An F minor you really won't use as a beginner, and a G minor you definitely won't be using as a beginner. And those are the most important chords you can have as a beginner. So let's recap on those. That's going to be A major, C major, D major, E major, an F major of some sort, which for you would really relate to an F major 7, which is kind of, it's in the middle. It's really important, but it's kind of tough. G major. Then we start with our minors. A minor, skipped over B minor, skipped over C minor, then we're here at D minor, E minor, and that's pretty much it. F minor, G minor, not. Now that's not to say that B minor, G minor, some of these other chords are not important. They are just less important for a beginner because as a beginner you really need to focus on the basics and getting those chords down. A good guitarist is going to know literally hundreds of chords, and a really good guitarist might even literally know thousands. If you talk to some like hardcore jazz guys, you know it's not that hard to know maybe 40 or 50 different types of bar chords or movable shapes, times that by 12 frets, and that's a whole lot of chords, 400 or 500 chords right there. So anyways, those are some of the most basic important chords you can have as a beginner. Hope you enjoy that. Please comment, rate, favorite, subscribe to my videos. Catch you around. Thank you for watching.